So I'm going to take the radiator and fan off so I get better access to the crank nut. So we'll whip that off right now. Okay, so the radiator's out of the way. I can spin the engine, but I can't feel any compression, so the only way to get this thing to start up and hopefully blow the rings out under combustion would be to put some oil down the bores. But I think what I'll test next is whether the starter motor actually works. Right, so I've got it hooked up to a donor battery source, so I'll spin it over and you'll be able to hear. It's probably going to spin over quite fast because there's no real compression, but it might be that the rings suddenly start to part company from where the C is in position. It might slow down and start developing compression potentially. Okay, so the starter motor is out and it is seized up, so solenoid was actually working. The pinion's free to turn, but the actual shaft itself is seized up, so I'll take it to bits, free it off, and then that should work again, because there's no reason why not. So the starter motor's off. One quick tip with these star washers is just to bend 4 of the legs up in such a manner that it then loosens off. And what you can do is, if you've not destroyed the legs, you can actually bend them back down and then pop it back on after. So quick little tip there. So the Ital 1.7 starter motor is rebuilt. And one of the first tests really is just to see whether the motor works. So I've connected directly to the main motor in this heavy duty charger. It's just a case of switching it on. And yeah, that works. Then next thing will be the start the solenoid. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that works lovely. So the next thing would be a more complete test, which would be straight onto where the battery is connected and bridge it straight across. Yeah, so that does work. Right, so it's fitted. So now we can spin the engine over, see if the oil pressure builds up, and then get the plugs out and see if there's any compression whatsoever. I sort of think that there's probably next to nothing. It felt like it had now, but we'll see. So let's try to do straight away is skip the timing belt teeth. So if I take it all off, get the pistons halfway down the bore, and then see if this camshaft is sort of partially seized or not, because that's the only reason why I can think that it would struggle to turn and skip teeth, because the belt's pretty clean. Just get it off, that's a bit awkward. I mean, the timing belt on one of these is actually ridiculously easy to do because there's nothing in the way. So you don't have to take the crank pulley off or anything. No, it might be that the tooth is full of rust or something. So I'll get this plug out, set it halfway down TVC, well, between centres, bottom and top, and then I'll spin the camshaft and see what we're talking. Right, spin this halfway down the floor. I've got the wrong size socket, brilliant. Okay, got the right socket now, so I'll run that halfway down the floor, which is about there, roughly. So that all the cylinders will be halfway down, so you can safely turn this thing. And what I'm feeling for is any valves that are potentially sticky, but no, I can feel spring resistance in return, so they're all quite happy with themselves. So I've took the distributor off and it actually looks like a Dolomite Sprint one, except it doesn't have the feature for the oil pump, because this is driven off the overhead camshaft of the O series. So I've snapped off both distributor cap retaining bolts. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to weld these M5 nuts straight on the end of them, and hopefully the heat will release them more so than the mechanical action of trying to undo the nuts once they're welded. Okay, timing belt's quite happy now. The distributor's done, starter motors looks good, got fuel in there, and also because the exhaust is snapped off, I've actually put a back box, just slipped it straight over the pipe just to try and calm it down a bit. So let's see if there's any action at all. No, it needs easy start.